since the board of FIBA Europe awarded the hosts of EuroBasket Women and EuroBasket Men 2021. In the meantime, our competition department prepared a draw. I would like to mention some few facts. While we have with the women's qualifiers, it's a third edition. In the men's, we have it first time since 2003. It is something new for most of the people. Me personally, I remember still playing the qualifiers before 2003, so it's not really exactly new idea. And actually the goal is to bring again meaningful games to our national federations and bring the meaningful games to the fans in each of the country. And we believe, and we have the proof of the World Cup qualifiers, that this is something what the countries and not only the spectators, also the partners of the national federations and the national federation itself missed a lot. I am sure that you know that for the men's qualifiers, Central Board of FIBA just modified a little bit the calendar, and the qualifiers will not start in November, but in February 2020. For the women's, you certainly know that we will start in November, but then beginning of the next year, we will have the Olympic qualification tournaments. So it will be an exciting journey for both men and women national teams. We know the hosts. This was also very pleasant to see how many countries submitted a bid to host either EuroBasket Men or EuroBasket Women. For the board, it was not an easy decision. But again, this underlines the value of both tournaments. It underlines how important the EuroBaskets, both of them, are for not only for our organization but also for our national federations. And I want to wish you here now all the best luck for the draws for both men and women. Enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kamil. Now, before we start, and we will start with the draw for the Women's EuroBasket 2021 qualifiers, let's together have a look at the highlights of the Women's EuroBasket 2019 that just has finished in Latvia and Serbia.
Hannah, a three. Donto, what a play! Rebounded it and then passed in the same motion.
Oh my word. Oh my word, what a play. Little showtime from La Palau.
Turner drives in. Oh, that's been their favorite spot on the court. Oh, and she got rejected by Videva. Look at that, not in my house. Oh, look at that, the play from Dominguez. Reaches in and just kind of throws it off the back of a Pupa. He gets a layup. Oh, look at the pass again. Oh my goodness me. That is ridiculous. The greatest showwoman. Miscommunication, and Johannes is there. Oh boy, isn't she special?
Look at this.
Petrovic trying to finally put them to bed, and does. Petrovic brings this crowd to its feet.
Jovic steps back. Ooh. Off the glass for two. Beautiful move. Well, Finley. Little jump shot for two is good.
some great highlights, and this draw this afternoon marks the beginning of a new cycle for the women's EuroBasket, which will hopefully bring many, many more highlights. A few words about the draw. 35 countries have registered to participate in the women's EuroBasket qualifiers, and with France and Spain being awarded as the hosts of the final round just 1 week ago, those two countries are automatically qualified. Therefore, 33 countries remain to participate in the qualifiers, meaning all teams except the organizers will play in the qualifiers. The teams will therefore be drawn into 9 groups, 6 groups of 4 teams, and 3 groups of 3 teams. They will play each other in its own group in home and away games over 3 windows, starting in November 2019, then November 2020, and January-February 2021. The 9 group winners and the 5 best second-place teams will qualify for the final round of the FIBA Women's EuroBasket. There is one restriction to this draw, but before I get to that, I would like to ask on stage 2 ladies that will assist me with this draw this afternoon. First of all, my colleague, Elizabeth Cebrian, former Spanish international. And to perform the draw, I would like to ask also former Latvian international, Gunter Basko, on stage. Thank you. Freshly retired. So before we start, if we can get the groups and the seeds, you see the seeds and you see the groups. There is one restriction that has been put in place based on the decision by the Executive Committee of FIBA Europe, is that due to reasons related to travel restrictions, Russia and Ukraine cannot be drawn in the same group, which means that if Ukraine from seed 2 will be drawn into the group with Russia, they will be moved into the next available group. Other than that, there are no restrictions, and we can start with the teams from seed 1. Slovenia goes into Group A. Sweden into Group B. Russia into Group C. Italy into Group D. Serbia into Group E. Great Britain into Group F. Belgium into Group G. Hungary into Group H. And you waited for the last one, for Latvia to come into Group I. Okay, moving over to the teams in seed 2. Into Group A. Greece. Montenegro into Group B. Bosnia and Herzegovina into Group C. The Czech Republic into Group D. Turkey into Group E. That is Belarus into Group F. That's Ukraine into Group G. Slovakia will go into Group H. And that leaves us with Croatia for Group I. Very good, and we can continue with the teams from the third seed. Iceland into Group A. Israel into Group B. Switzerland for Group C. Romania for Group D. Lithuania into Group E. That is Poland into Group F. Portugal into Group G. The Netherlands into Group H. And Germany into Group I. Now for the teams in Seed 4, as there are only 6 teams in Seed 4, we will proceed as follows. We will draw one team, and then we will draw the group in which the team will go. Albania. Into Group E. Bulgaria. Into Group A. Denmark. newcomer to these qualifiers. Group D for Denmark. That is Estonia. Into Group C. North Macedonia. Group I. And last but not least, Finland. Group G. Finland into Group G. Now, all that's left for us to do is to draw the numbers for the lines to determine the order of play. The teams from seed 4 will automatically be assigned number 4 as it's an uneven number of teams, and we will draw numbers 1 to 3 for the remaining lines, starting with the teams from seed 1. Number 2. Followed by number 3. And number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the draw for the Women's EuroBasket 2021 qualifiers. Thank you, Gunther, very much. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you see the results on the screen. Please bear with us a few moments until we prepare the next draw. In the meantime, we will show you a video about a very interesting project, the Her World, Her Rules project initiated by FIBA Europe together with the national federations, aimed at promoting basketball to young girls.
Mom wanted me to become a doctor. My grandfather wanted me to become a scientist.
A ballerina.
A model.
A writer.
A mathematician.
A developer.
An artist.
My dad wanted me to become a lawyer.
My sister, a policewoman.
My friends wanted me to become a teacher.
An accountant.
That something was not me.
I chose to become myself.
My playground.
My rules.
My choice.
Okay, and we are ready to start with the draw for the FIBA EuroBasket 2021 qualifiers. But before we do, again, let's take a look back at the highlights from the last edition from EuroBasket 2017.
It's FIBA EuroBasket 2017.
The expectation is palpable. The place where dreams come true.
That is a big-time shot. Aaron, what a man! It's good. Bogdan Bogdanovic. Hits it.
Knocks down the three. What a pass out of anger. EuroBasket all-time leading scorer.
Launches the three, then he hits. Segelia! That was magical. That will count it to go. Here's Schroeder to the rim.
Oh, it's magic marketing. Oh, that could be massive. That's special.
Great shot. Just takes that ball away. Up the court. He takes it all the way. How about that from Luka Doncic? Dragic for three. Good.
Doncic has gone down with an injury, and he is in pain. Bogdanovic goes in.
Makes a tough shot.
Put your hands down! Put your hands up, play!
Passes out to Randolph. Randolph gets in the lane, puts up a little
Runner makes it. Slovenia are on top of the EuroBasket world, the best team in European basketball for the first time in their history.
Again, some great highlights, and we're looking forward for many more to come with the EuroBasket 2021, which now kicks off with the qualifiers draw. Some information about the draw. We have 32 countries that will play in the qualifiers, including the hosts of the final round that have been announced last week: Czech Republic, Georgia, Italy, and Germany, that will also host the final phase. The teams will be drawn into 8 groups of 4 teams, and will play the other teams in home and away games across 3 windows. And as mentioned before, those windows will be in February 2020, November, December 2020, and February 2021. The 3 highest placed teams from each group will advance to the EuroBasket, excluding obviously the groups with the hosts, where the hosts plus the 2 other highest placed teams will advance to the final round of the EuroBasket. Some information. This draw is a little bit different than the previous one. Teams from seed 1, 4, 5, and 8 will be drawn into groups A, C, E, and G, and teams from seed 2, 3, 6, and 7 will go into the groups B, D, F, and H. A couple of restrictions: a maximum of 1 host can be drawn in any group, so there can not be any group with 2 hosts. Additionally, like before, based on the decision of the executive committee, Russia cannot be drawn into the same group with Ukraine, and also, based on the previous decision, Serbia cannot be drawn into the same group with Kosovo, which plays in the pre-qualifiers in August. And you see those teams that participate in the pre-qualifiers in August in seed 8. The group winners from there will advance to the EuroBasket qualifiers. One more thing to mention, which is something that has been predetermined, is the game days. So groups A, B, E, and F will have their game days in window 1 Thursday, Sunday, and then in the second window Friday, Monday, and then again Thursday, Sunday in window 3. And groups C, D, G, H will have first Friday, Monday, then Thursday, Sunday, and then again Friday, Monday in the 3 windows. I think this is it in terms of the explanation. Let's get down to business, and in order to assist me and Elizabeth with this draw this afternoon, I would like to ask on stage 2 gentlemen. First, from Georgia, former Georgian international Vladimir Bojsa. And from Czech Republic, representing another host, current international, Vojtech Hruban. So the procedure for this draw is as follows. We will draw a team, and for each team we will immediately draw an individual number to determine the order of play. So we will start with the team from seed 1 and then draw the according number. Spain will go into Group A, and they will get the number number 4. The next team from seed 1 will go into Group C. Lithuania into Group C. C. Number 3. Lithuania, Group C, number 3. Next team from seed 1 will go into Group E. Serbia into Group E. E. Number 4. And France will go into Group G. Also with number 4. Okay, moving on to the teams from seed 2, they will be drawn into groups B, D, F, and H. Russia into Group B. With number 4. Croatia into Group D. Number 1. Slovenia into Group F. With number 3. And Greece into Group H. With number 1. So now the teams from seed 3 will go now also in the groups B, D, F, and H. Italy into Group B. With number 1. Turkey into Group D. With number 2. Ukraine into Group F. With number 4. And that leaves Latvia for Group H. With number 2. Okay, now the teams from seed 4, they will go again into groups A, C, E, and G. We'll start with the first team. Poland into Group A. Number 2. The Czech Republic into Group C. With number 1. Finland into Group E. With number 1. That should leave Germany into Group G. With number 1. Germany into Group G with number 1. We'll make the gentlemen switch places to mix it up a little bit. We will continue with the teams from seed 5. They will be drawn again in groups A, C, E, and G. We only have to pay attention that Georgia, as a host, cannot go into Group C because we already have a host there, and also cannot go into Group G. Israel into Group A. With number 3. Georgia, and as mentioned, Georgia cannot go into Group C as we already have one host there, so Georgia will automatically be moved to the next available group, which is E. Number 2. Belgium, they will go into Group C. With number 2. And Montenegro will go into Group G. Also with number 2. Moving on to the teams from seed 6, they will again go into groups B, D, F, and H. North Macedonia into Group B. With number 2. The Netherlands into Group D. With number 3. Hungary into Group F. With number 2. And Bosnia and Herzegovina into Group H. With number 3. Moving on to the teams in seed 7, those teams will again be drawn into groups B, D, F, and H to complete them. Estonia into Group B. With number 3. Sweden into Group D. With number 4. That is Austria into Group F. With number 1. And Bulgaria into Group H. And that should be number 4, yes. So, as mentioned, the teams in Seed 8 are the groups of the pre-qualifiers which will play in August, where the group winner will qualify for the EuroBasket Qualifiers, and we will now draw those as placeholders with the restriction that the group with Luxembourg, Kosovo, and Great Britain cannot go into Group E, where Serbia is. Please. It's the pre-qualifiers group with Slovakia, Cyprus, and Romania. They will go into Group A. And number 1. the group Albania, Belarus, Denmark. They will go into Group C, the winner. With number 4. The group Luxembourg, Kosovo, Great Britain, and for reasons mentioned before, they cannot go into Group E, will therefore be moved to the next available group, which is Group G. Number 3. And last but not least, the group with Switzerland, Portugal, and Iceland, their group winner will go into Group E. With number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the draw for the FIBA EuroBasket 2021 qualifiers. You have the results on the screen. Thank you, gentlemen. Well done. Thank you, Elizabeth. Well done.